Okay.
Okay, so backlog for the week. Who would like to start us out?
I'll go. So I was I got some graphics added to the Shop WIKISPEED page. I pretty much used graphics off of the OSE page. I also verified that the backup schedule for the website was working, and then I did a manual backup, and then updated WordPress to 3.9.1 and updated all the associated plugins. And as far as blocks go, I don't have any pictures of a completed interior module, and I also have no pics of CAD or of any sort of the side impact modules to put on the Shop WIKISPEED side. And that's it for me.
All right, Jan, you want to take the honors, or you want me to go?
I'll go. Can you guys hear me all right?
It's a little windy, but it's okay.
All right. So for my backlog, what I had completed this week was I updated the code for the airbag module, and I started building a data logger that can plug into that, so we can have it in a WIKISPEED card collecting data to make sure everything's going good before we actually hook it up to airbags. From there, I also started on the WIKISPEED device that connects to like any Honda Civic and can vary the signal that's output by the accelerator to make the car more fuel economical.
Okay, did you have any blocks?
Currently, the only blocks I have are I'm waiting on parts to arrive for the WIKISPEED thing, and other than that, no, I'm good.
All right, I guess now that I'm unmuted, I had a little bit of progress on the motor and transmission going into the electric motor module frame, getting the brackets cut out and getting them bolted in. Didn't quite make it as far as I wanted to, of course. Working on the battery charger and on actually running getting the transmission full of oil and running it, but I don't have video of that yet. And I don't have any blocks right now, so hit the wrong button. So Chris has already talked about demo. Jan, did you have demo?
I do not have demo of anything currently. I uploaded one, but that was from a previous stand-up meeting that I missed.
Right. Okay, and I'm bad for that. I often upload demonstration stuff for a week or 2 weeks ago. And I already mentioned the getting the transmission and the motor into the bolt together frame. So that did anybody else post any demos that I may have missed? Okay, hearing nothing, we will continue. Retrospective. So 1 to 10 on how your interaction with the team, and 1 to 10 for the team, and a suggested improvement. Who would like to start off?
I'll go. So I did probably an 8 for me, just because I was not able to attend the product owner meeting, which I really wanted to do. I was able to get everything else done, but that one thing was fairly important enough to take 2 points off at least. And then I'll go a 10 for the team, because I really like seeing the fact that the electric engine module, the airbag, WIKISPEED windshield wipers, and I think something that Joe had mentioned, the C3 in general moving forward, really just gives a 10 for the whole team.
All right, thanks, Chris. So was there a suggestion for improvement in there?
I don't think so. I noticed Joe mentioned maybe changing the Linwood board to C3 board in general.
I think he actually already did that.
Oh yeah, so he already has changed it. I would say I do have one that's related to test-driven development that maybe I would like to see more well-defined pass-fail tests documented related to some of the backlog items, so that basically anyone who picks up a task knows exactly what done is going to require up front.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Jan, you want to go ahead?
All right. So for me individually, I would give myself a 10 because of what I've achieved this week. I've gotten quite a lot of progress done on the airbag module, and then starting the WIKISPEED lit with ordering parts and everything, and then trying to get just a basic code that would be used for testing ready for when the parts arrive. So, to summarize, I'd give myself a 10. And as a team, probably a 9 because everything's going quite well. The only complaint I would have is, and it's not like a terrible complaint, but I think we need a little more communication, because right now, like, I'm getting answers, but sometimes they're a little vague and there's confusion. So it'd be my only concern, that the reason I'm docking it down to a 9 instead of a 10 is that we could have better communication as a team overall.
Okay, vote for better pass-fail and a vote for better communication. I think those could kind of be combined into one, but I guess not quite. I'm going to give myself a 9, and I will give the team a 9 as well, because there's always room for improvement. But we're doing well. We've got progress shown. We've got things happening. And we're doing it without Joe being around, and that was one of his goals, is for things to keep going while he wasn't around. Improvement. I agree that we need better communication, but I'm not really sure how to put that in a way that we can say, yes, here's what we're going to do for next week to try and improve the communication. So I'm going to vote for better definition on the goals, to know when you're done a particular task. I'm going to go with Chris. Not that Jan's suggestion isn't good. It's just I don't know how to phrase it in a way that we can actually say, yes, we did it, or no, we didn't, for next week.
Maybe generally just documentation would help a little bit. I know communication can be difficult because everybody's, of course, volunteering, so it can be difficult for times to match up. But maybe just better documentation, or a bit, more well-defined documentation on various things. Of course, since I said it, my vote's also for the test-driven development pass-fail test being documented specifically.
Sorry about that. I just got home and my Wi-Fi disconnected, or my 4G disconnected. What I was saying when I said that like the communication is needed, it does tie into what was said, how we need to define what done means in a specific category. So that is something else I'm voting for in the discussion.
Okay, carried. I guess we're doing better at defining when we're done on the Carica system, and as a general part of communication. And I believe that takes us to sprint planning for next week. Chris, as traditional, you want to go for it?
Okie dokie. So I plan on the last little part of finishing up the website updates. So I want to update the themes that are on the website. I held off on that a little bit because I don't know how much previous to me taking over was integrated into the code of the themes and not child themes. I want to research the requirements for a terms and condition page on the website because now that there's a automated e-commerce solution, there actually, I think, legally has to be a terms and conditions page. I'm going to do more on the shop WIKISPEED page updates as far as graphics or descriptions. I posted something earlier about people getting me any suggestions on that. And I was thinking about maybe contacting a local community college about maybe collaborating on like using WIKISPEED designs as part of their curriculum, like maybe like CAD related or engineering related, maybe even the electronics department, things like that. I think I actually have time next week to maybe deal with something like that, and I have a few contacts at a local community college, so I think that may be beneficial. And that's it.
That's it. That sounds pretty awesome. So, Jan, what are you up to?
Well, basically, I kind of want to finish up a version 1 of the airbag module to get it out on a car, as per Joe's request. So make it FM VSS standardized, so that it can be used in production in one of the cars. So that'll be my goal, and then to get the parts for the WIKISPEED lit and create a first version prototype.
Okay, that also sounds pretty awesome. I'm going to be doing a little bit of testing on my battery charger, make sure I can charge up my battery set, and I'm going to be getting the controller powered up and connected up to the batteries and the motor. Make sure I can spin the not the wheels because I don't have any wheels, spin the axles, I guess. Go through the gears in the transmission, make sure there's no nasty sounds. And then I'm going to be, if things go spectacularly well, I'll be working on the dashboard, trying to get the tach and speedometer in, a couple of the temperatures, but realistically that's not going to be for another week or so. And I believe that pretty much does it for our for the formal part of our system. Is there anything that anybody would like to talk about?
I will just say real quick, since we are doing this live and also recording this publicly, that if anybody has any questions about WIKISPEED or can help remove any of the blocks or are just interested in general, want to join the team, that they can just send an email to info@wikispeed.com, and you'll get a reply back about what you need to do for the various cases there. And actually, just going into general discussion, I saw on the website, I guess, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Johan, you ordered a T-shirt, correct?
I did, yeah.
Did you get any reply back about that, or has anything happened with that yet?
I got an automated reply, and then Joe actually replied telling me that he was out of town and would actually ship it as soon as he could.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I hadn't looked at the rest of it to see if I wasn't sure where the email went once an order was placed, so I wasn't sure if anybody on the back end was working on that. But as long as Joe replied, that means it's at least going to the right place for him to be aware that orders are being placed there. So, okay, that's all I needed to know.
All right.
Okay. Jan, when you were saying that you were going to get the prototype ready, you were going to ship that to Linwood for them to put it on the car so that we could verify that it doesn't get triggered with normal driving. Was that the plan?
Yeah, the plan was to send it to Joe so he could put it on his the SGT-01 and just drive around for a week with a data logger attached. So that would be the first stage of testing to make sure there are no accidental triggers, and if there are, to correct them before we actually hook up the airbags.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a bad idea to put it onto a vehicle that maybe takes a little bit more rough treatment, like a 4x4 or something that sees some gravel roads, that kind of stuff, because I don't know where Joe drives, but I would assume that it's mostly on asphalt, and that's probably not going to give you a real noisy signal.
That was something that that we discussed. However, it's going to give different results on a different vehicle because of the dimensions and the weight of the vehicle. So in the most ideal situation, we build a 4x4 WIKISPEED 01 and drive the hell out of that.
Well, I'm all for that one. That sounds like fun. Actually, what if you're worried about the G's, maybe putting it on an enduro bike wouldn't be a bad idea.
I didn't catch that last part. Could you repeat that?
Okay. If you're looking for some high G loads, an on-road, off-road, or enduro style of motorcycle might be a good test bed because it's lighter than WIKISPEED, so it should actually give you a rougher ride or more acceleration, more G's.
All right, that is actually something I can test locally.
I think it's going to be a while, but I think that this isn't there a race, and is it in Germany? If I understand correctly, that they're building a WIKISPEED to do a race. It'll be a while, much longer than before we should already verify that the prototype's working. But maybe it could at least be a good final test on what's going on to get more real world results or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If you get more details on that, just shoot me an email.
Yeah, I remember it being in Germany, and I don't know what kind of a race it actually is. I have to read up on it.
I don't think they're even starting to build the car until December. So I mean, like I said, it is a ways off, and we shouldn't wait to innovate before then. But at least, like I said, it could help verify in the long run.
Yeah, we could build the second module to have one in Joe's car and then send one to the Germany race team.
Yeah, actually, having a couple of prototypes floating around wouldn't be a bad idea at all. More data is always good. Anything anybody else wants to talk about?
I just have a question. Just what's the main idea of the product owners meeting? Is that more for people that have bought like a SGT01 or the C3, or is that more for the members of the team to communicate with them?
I believe it's actually a product owner is someone that defines the goal for a card kind of thing. So when we're grooming the backlog, we're trying to take it, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris, we're trying to define the task or the goals better so that they're immediately actionable by a broader range of people. And if you have a task that's too large, you actually split it up into smaller chunks that again can be acted on immediately, or that are blocked, and you have an action plan to unblock them. But it's not for the owners of the cars; it's the owners of the tasks, I guess.
All right.
Right. So the owners of the cars are mostly they're classified as stakeholders or chief stakeholders. So the product owner is the one that has the vision for what the product should be and when it should be released, given its current state. Just to expand on what Michael was saying a little bit there.
All right, thank you.
Currently, Joe is the product owner of the C3 development, but I think he's requested that maybe someone else could pick that up if they have a good understanding and good vision of what needs to be done. Because I think he may be a little too busy to cover that and everything else that he's doing.
Right, and I was hoping that if we were able to get a few people together, I've never actually groomed the backlog. I've added a bunch of stuff, probably poorly, but in terms of redefining the scope or making it easier for someone to actually take something from the backlog and move it to done, I've never done that.
I've missed the last two attempts to do this because of things that came up at last minute, but I'm going to commit to doing next week and see if we can go through some of the things. There's some things in Carica that help with this, and then some things that, of course, aren't as, I don't know, maybe traditionally useful as other things. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm like I said, I'm going to commit to this, and even if next week all we can get done is just figuring out the format and how Carica can help with it, I mean, I think that would be good enough.
Well, yeah, progress is progress. As long as we're making it further down the road, that's what we want to do. Any other stuff we want to talk about? Okay, hearing nothing, I'm gonna say if you want to stay on the call, we'll stay on the call. But this is probably the end of the recording, I would imagine.
Yep, I'll go ahead and stop it as soon as everyone signs off. All right.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.